What's up, guys, and welcome to a new farming simulator series. I am still on Farm Sim 22, and the reason is because I do not have a PS5. I'm still on PS4, and it's FS25 is not available for PS4, it's only available for PS5, and I obviously don't have one. So I'm still stuck on 22. Now, the next issue. Well, not really issue, just the next problem, I guess. Um, there aren't any new mods for 22 anymore, really. I mean, there's a couple scattered around here and there, new ones. Um, but yeah, so I was looking for a new map, and I couldn't find one. So, guess what map we're on? Can you guess? We are back on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. It's a really nice map. I love it. It is my favorite map by far on Farm Sim. So we're back on it. Now, this is gonna be a fun series, or at least I'm gonna hope it's a fun series. I do want it to last. That is the hope. I know my last series only made it to episode 9, I think, which is actually pretty good for me. But since it is on Edgewater, I hope it's gonna last. That's the plan. I hope I don't get bored. And if I do, I'm gonna change up what I'm doing. So anyway, equipment tour. I've got the TLX 3500 series with the 50-foot gooseneck. I do have a bucket on the back because I do want to get into greenhouses for some reason. It's a new production, and I like greenhouses. Next on the list, that's not mine. We've got the S780 combine, and I went with tracks this time. Normally I go for double wheels, but I was playing around with wheel types, and I found this, and I really like it, and it works well. Next up, we got the Mack truck from BC Bueller, I do believe, which is who made this map, actually. We've got the 35,000 liter capacity on the truck, or on the trailer, so we're going to have to make quite a lot of trips, and I'm okay with that. Next up, we've got a 7R with a front loader attacher and the quick bail on the back. I went for the 7R over the 6R because if we went with the 6R, it doesn't have enough power to pull the planter or the plow. Not that I have either one of those at the moment, but here we are. It would require me to not lease that equipment later on. And then we've got the quick bail because I hate bailing. It takes too long. So I got that. And that's it, actually. That's the equipment right here is what you see, what I have. We go into the menu here. Well, I guess I got the 2 augers that you come with, that you start with. I didn't sell those off. I sold everything else off, but everything else you see is what I got. This is for a contract. Let's just take a look at that menu real quick. We've got field 7, field 8, and field 23. I think I leased the equipment for field 23, which is this X9 here, and that Mack truck over there. If we look at the map here, first off, these are the land we own. We start off with field 2 here, and then I bought these 2 pieces of land and this piece of land. The reason is, well, we start off with that one, so I didn't have a choice. These 2 have flax and lentils, and I have a plan for right here. This is going to be my production yard right here. I'm going to split it in half, roughly. And so this side right here is going to be my production yard. And then the rest of it's going to be grass. And then for the moment, the rest of that field is going to be grass. And eventually I would like to buy this field and combine 51 and 7 together. And the plan is to get rid of all these waterways, all the trees, make it all one giant field. Well, 2 separate fields, but here we are. And then I bought this field. What is this? Field 5. I bought it because it's got canola, and I want to get into oil. I want to do oil on this map for some reason. Well, because it makes a lot of money. And 2, I've got this fun new mod. Well, it's not a new mod, it's been out forever. And I've used it quite a lot since it first came out. If we just take a look at all these productions, it's the extended oil plant. So we can do soybeans and corn. So we will definitely be doing soybeans and corn. And you can see I've got all kinds of different productions. I've got dairy sheep, which I do want to get into at some point. We got dried corn. We got flavored milk. We've got ice cream production. And this is the fruits and vegetable processing plant from the orchards and greenhouses product pack, I think is what it's called. And that comes along with greenhouses, and this is the greenhouses I want to get into. So we will definitely be placing this down sooner than later. But then again, I only have 55,000 left after all my purchases. So yeah. As for the loan, I do have a loan. Ooh, I can take more of the loan out, actually. I will absolutely do that. Because I like loans. And I like money. So now we have an $845,000 loan. Once I pay it back, I will not have a loan again. That is the goal here. So once I get enough money to for this, I will not have a loan again. So yeah, that is the gist of what's happening here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to start with this field. And when I say start with it, I'm going to somewhat go around, well, not even go around. I'm going to go around to, well, I don't know how far I'm going to go. Not going to go very far, probably to those trees over there. And then I'm just going to bring it back over here. Well, I might not even go for that far. I just saw a worker right here, I'm going to be honest. Right there. Alright, so he's hired. We're going to get into our own combine. We're going to unfold it. And we're first going to go harvest the lentils field. Because that is obviously the production yard. And I need to get that set up first. And I can't really do that if there's crops on the ground. And of course, I hit the fence. That fence will be going eventually. This whole entire area is going to be redone at some point. When I have the money to do so. Well, I technically do have the money now, but there's crops on the ground still. So that will be coming in a later episode. Speaking of episodes, I'm not sure how long these episodes are going to be. That kind of depends on you guys, of what you guys want to see, how long you want it to be. I'm aiming for around maybe 20 to 30 minutes, possibly sometimes even 40 minutes long. I don't know. But as you do know, I do not edit these videos. So there's no time lapses, there's no cuts, it's all just raw walkthrough. Or not walkthrough, gameplay. It's all raw gameplay, that's what it is. And I'm gonna try and record everything. I'm gonna not do things off screen unless it's one job that takes forever, especially when we get into the larger fields. I might start them on screen and end them off screen just to save you guys the trouble, because I don't time lapse, obviously. But the small fields here, like this one that we're in, we will obviously record. So yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for this series. Like I said before, I hope it lasts. And I hope we have a lot of fun. Now, I was thinking earlier of how to get rid of these trees, because I don't own that land, but eventually, I'm missing some. Eventually, I'm going to lease a tree begon for the time being, when I get all this crop harvested. I'm going to tree begon all these trees. Now, what I was thinking about is getting a sawmill and winching all of the logs, or the trees, to the sawmill, making some money off of that. But there are quite a lot of trees, and that would just take forever. But it would be useful, I think, to do so. So let me know. If you guys want to see me winch a bunch of logs instead of just tree begoning them all, let me know. I do have Platinum Edition, so I can winch logs. So that's how we're going to be doing that. I'll probably just get the Platinum Edition sawmill, because it does work fairly fast, and it's pretty cheap. I think it's only $54,000 to buy, so that would be good. And then we would obviously need the winch, which is about 20 grand, I think. So that would work well. Now, at the moment, I am going back for the missed pieces, just because it's lentils and they don't yield a lot. And so the more you have, the more profitable it'll be come, oh, I don't know, June, July, when they sell. But when it comes to the flax, I won't be too bothered about it. Also, there will be no field flipping, so I can't just buy a field, harvest it, and then sell it back. I have to at least plant it with something, just to make it a little trickier for me. Now, I was going to field flip field 5 that I bought. That's the canola field. And I still might do that. That might be the only exception, because I do want the canola, but I don't want the field. Because I want field 7 to make it all one giant field. So I'm not sure about that one quite yet. Let me know as that as well. Do you want me to field flip field 5? Or do you want me to keep it? I mean, it's a nice field. It's just, I don't necessarily want it. Now, this is going to be a problem. So I'm going to assume, well, I'm not assuming, I'm going to go around the headland. Not sure how far I'll make it. Obviously I won't make it very far because I'm only 40% full. The smarter thing would have been to unload right there. But, according to my friends, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, so here we are. Joke's on them, I'm the only one in the shed. Now, the plan is to get sheep, obviously. Well, I guess not obviously, some people don't know this. But you can take flax straw, which is the 2 fields we have, is flax, and the straw can go to the spinnery on this map, and so you can make fabric. And so to produce fabric a little bit faster is to get sheep. And if you really want to produce it, you could get cotton as well, which we might do. We might. If the series lasts, we might actually do cotton. That might actually be a good idea. So we could be producing all kinds of fabric, and then we can build a tailor shop and produce clothes. And clothes is the most expensive palette in the game. Base game palette. I know when you get into mods, you can get really, really expensive things. But base game wise, clothes is the most expensive thing. But I don't want to go too big too fast. That is always a problem of mine. And that's how I get bored of series. Especially if I do one thing constantly. Like, for example, when I make this all one giant field, or 2 separate fields, I guess, and I have a really small implement, like a planter for say, and I'm only doing that one job, I get bored, and I want to switch series. So I want to go big, but I don't want to go too big too fast. I know I started with an S780 combine. I would have started with an S680, but it didn't have the tracks that I liked. So I decided to go for the S780. And we will obviously upgrade to the X9 eventually. Excuse me. Not this X9. This is the base game X9. We will definitely be getting a modded one. Where was I going? I was talking about sheep. How did I end up talking about combines from sheep? I don't know. But anyway, back to sheep. We're gonna get normal sheep, and then we're gonna get dairy sheep, which will produce sheep milk, and then produces sheep cheese, I think, which we saw in the production. And I am full. And since this is a contract, I can drive in the crops, which I'm going to do, because it's a big field. I do have crop destruction on. So I need to be careful about that, but obviously it doesn't work for contract fields. So we got that little conundrum out of the way. Anyway, back to sheep. We're gonna get sheep, dairy sheep. I would love to get cows, but they're expensive. especially the cow barn that I want to get. Our combine's 42% full. While that unloads, let's go ahead and look at animals. So I found... not that. Well, I guess, maybe. It's 42 slots though. I need to be careful on slots. I could get this. It's 500 capacity for 100 grand. It is fairly big. Will it fit in this field? Barely. If I maneuver it correctly, it might. Maybe put it like that somehow. I don't like that anyway. So we would be going for this, which is $576,000. It holds 300 cows, which is plenty for me. I don't know. I found we might go for something smaller to begin with, but even then, it's 470,000, the cheapest one. And that holds 200 cows. So that wouldn't be too bad. And then obviously we have the buildable feedlot, which I will not get on this series. I know I could get it. I love it. I mean, it's cheap. It holds 1,000 cows. But I want to do something different. I want to actually spend the money on animal barns. I don't want to just make $1 million in a day and have nothing to spend it on, which eventually we will. We will make $1 million in a day from the close, and we will have nothing to spend it on because we would have had it all already. And when it gets to that point, it's probably time to end the series, I think. So I've hired the worker off there. I just want to take a look at sheep pens. So we've got the base game ones, which we're not going to get. We've got the American sheep barn, which I will most likely get, because it holds 300 sheep. And then we've got the dairy sheep here, that only hold 120. So that wouldn't be too bad. And then we've got the red barn pack that holds 75. I'm not sure where I was going with that. I've kind of lost my train of thought. Helper D has completed their task. You have not completed your task. Oh, you hit the fence. I see. I was going to unload my own combine, but I guess we'll do this instead. Let's turn on some lights, because it's kind of dark back here in this corner. I do have time on halftime right now. That's just because I want to get the productions up and running before I move time forward. So for the time being, we're going to play on 0.5. I know we have like 3 months to harvest all these crops, but still. So as soon as we harvest the lentils, I will be placing down probably 2 greenhouses. I probably won't go for 3 right off the bat, because that can get quite expensive. but I will definitely go for 2. And I will not be storing the pallets, because one, there's gonna be a lot of pallets, and we're producing, what, like 7 different products? And 7 different products at like 1,000-liter pallets. If we're looking at 10 pallets each, because I'll probably let them go to best price, that's like 70 pallets. Just rough estimate there. And I don't want to deal with 70 pallets. So we will be selling them off automatically until I want to get that one production for the greenhouses, which at that point I might set it to storing. I'm not sure though. I'll probably just keep ending up selling it to selling. And the reason to get greenhouses is because, well, one, we have almost $1 million loan, and we need a source of income before we sell our crops. And so it's basically going to keep us afloat from day to day. Because I did test this before I started this episode on a different save game. And I did have 2 greenhouses that I'm going to place down here shortly. And it does keep me afloat with having $1 million loan. I actually think I make more money than I lose every day. So that will be nice. It's not a, like, make $100,000 every night, but, I mean, we'll get to that point, but it's just something, it makes like, what, 5-6 grand a night, which is more than what the loan interest and the property maintenance does. Takes away from me. So that's why. And I just like different productions, so we're gonna get greenhouses. Now, I did see the message that my combine is done. Just want to finish going around at least this part so I can hire a worker. Hopefully the worker doesn't get confused. Alright, did a fairly good job here. So this part of the field is going to be grass for the time being. And then right about even with these trees here, probably about right here, we'll cut it across that direction. And then all of this right here will be productions. And sheep. Not just sheep. But the cows will go here too. Speaking of cows, probably should have said this earlier, but there is a cow barn on the map already. It holds 120 cows. And the land is actually cheaper than placing down our own barn. So it's still a viable option. Let's get this out of the trees. Park it in the crops like we do. And we'll bring the truck around. I'm pretty sure this is on the opposite field. Or opposite side of the field. And considering we've pretty much have a full semi, plus what's in the combine, and we're just on the headland, I forget how much wheat yields, actually. It's been a while since I've done wheat. I've been playing a lot of, well, Farm Sim 22, obviously. But I've been on one of the base game maps, Hoyt Bay Leroy. is what I've been playing on. And I've been playing on it with no mods. So I don't have precision farming, because that's a mod. So I've been normally fertilizing the crops, which is, you know, it uses a lot less fertilizer without precision farming. But you don't yield as much. And so I'm used to not having as much yield. But with precision farming, you get a lot more yield for a lot more effort. And that's what I like about precision farming. That's why I always use it. Yeah. Alright, so since this is the first episode, it's going to be a little bit longer. Just because I want to get this episode done. I want to... Well, I don't want to get the episode done. I want it to last. I'm not sure how many of you guys are still watching. If you are, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate it. And if you've obviously left by now, then I guess also thank you. I don't know. Yeah. I probably should end it because it's been 32 minutes now. So I probably should. And I think I will here shortly. Just so I can title the next episode what I want to title. Alright, so this guy's done. Did actually get all the crops. Good job. Alright, so we harvested this field. Not sure how I want to start field 1. And I can't get to 51 without harvesting field 1. But I'm not sure if I want to do flax right now. I kind of want to do canola. And then I can place down the oil mill. And I can get that production up and running. So I think I might do that. I think I might go start the canola. And I don't know if I said this already. Well, I probably did. But the reason we're doing canola is we're getting the oil mill, oil plant. And the best time to sell canola, I believe, is in November. Canola oil. And that's only, what, 3 months from now? So I want to get it producing oil as soon as possible. Because this is a pretty big field. It won't yield very much. Because it's obviously not fertilized. So it won't yield that much. But it'll still give us a decent amount to start off with. Now I'm not going to go around the headland to start off with. I will just do this little corner here. And then I'm going to hire a worker. And if I do end up keeping this field, I will get rid of that waterway right there. And those trees on the far edge way over there. Just to make it one giant field. Now, I want to keep this contract moving. So we're going to unload the combine. We're going to figure out where we need to take this wheat. Because obviously I have 3 different contracts. I want to say it goes to Edgewater Grain. I think. Either that or the Northern Mill. Not sure. Alright, so that's full. Where am I taking this crop? Edgewater Grain. Look at that. Alright, we will drive this up there, and that'll probably be it for this episode. So if you want to stick around, please do. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. Which I guess I'm technically talking to myself now. But I'm also technically talking to you guys that are watching. So either way, I'm losing my mind, because I'm talking to myself all the time. But we don't really think about that part, do we? Alright, my combine decided to complete its task, which is actually fine. Because I do need to go around the headland. So I will worry about that later. Where is Edgewater Grain? Is it... I know it's by the shop. I think it's on the north side of the railroad. Because if it was that other place south of the railroad, then I would have taken that other road. So I do believe Edgewater Grain is in this driveway. And then it's, I believe it's the first drop off here. Because I know that other one is for the train. So I believe this is where we go. And if we start to make money here, which we're not, which is good, that means it's going to the contract. So that's perfect. %60 transported for field 23. That's a problem because we're not on field 23, we're on field 7. But that is a known issue with having multiple contracts going to the same location, which is fine. Alright, but that will do it for today, guys. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.